And the news for April the 28th, 2014. Well, tomorrow night and Wednesday, we are going to be under the gun once again with severe weather in this area. Mainly for tomorrow night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night, we could be under the gun for some severe weather with tornadic conditions and high winds. The weather seems to top the news. A baby was killed last week when those storms came here and hit our coast into North Carolina. When it hit our area last Friday, a baby was killed in North Carolina. Please go out to I don't know where the location where that baby was killed, but it was an infant, a little baby. Something fell on it and killed it. Please pray for the families, our hearts, from New Hunter Church of Christ and other churches and everybody. Let's pray for that family and pray for the relatives of that family to give them closure and know that their baby's with the Lord and know that the Lord's got things that are better in store for them in spite of their loss of losing that wonderful baby child that they had. And it's sorry that happened. They still have not found Malaysia Flight 370. According to, it's been over 50 days, which just seems really weird and very highly suspicious. Also, the assault on American speech, no matter what form it is, also continues on. All not just here in America, but worldwide. More attacks are ever more prevalent on Christians than ever before worldwide. And even the U.S., it looks its head, or turns its head, like the IRS and other agencies turn their head against giving people giving 503 non-profit exemption or tax-free exemptions, and even revoking them in some cases. So be looking out, Churches of Christ. If you're a 503 charter church, please look out and please be advised that this may happen, because some Churches of Christ have lost their charter due to the IRS either they did an error on their return, is what the IRS is saying, or either the IRS has found some reason to disregard your 503 charter. It might have been something you said behind the pulpit or something, because within this Johnson Act that was established back in the 50s, that gave them control to be able to monitor what your sermons are. And they do send people there sometimes to do just that. So if you're a 503 charter church, Christ, you might want to change your standing and just file it as a business, even though you're not a business. You're about the Lord's business, but keep the church affairs separated. Like Jesus said, he went in there 2 times with whips and chains in the temples to chase out the money changers and the temple, as it was told. Well, no, it was 1 time. I'm sorry. That was when, I was thinking about another thing in the Bible where Jesus went to get the fisherman, Matthew, who was a fisherman, and he went there again towards the end of his ministry, but he chased out the money changers 1 time, not 2 times. But, we have a business here during the week, but it's separate from the church. People ask me about that, Are you putting business in with the church? And I say no, but we do sell products here, even though it is supplemented through my business, but the money that is made for the ministry is separate. It goes to only New Hunter Church of Christ, and it only goes for the bills for that. Yes, my business is here during the week because this is where I work, this is where I live, and we're trying to get money so that we can move the church to a separate location so that it isn't here, like across the way. But we need people. We need donations, but we need actual bodies from outside of Harbor Square to actually attend our services when we have them on Sunday morning. If we start with 10, 12 people here, and it grows and keeps growing, then we'll move over to the building, into the multi-purpose building, which is where the office is. But we can't do that unless we get donations, and we can't do that unless we get bodies. And the only way that's going to happen is by people telling people from other churches. I called Fairmount Christian Church of Christ to try to see if I could get them to help me to see if they could ask about putting donations in the church there to help support our ministry here. And they thought I was soliciting, and they turned me down because they didn't understand what I was saying. I got an A in public speaking. I don't understand why they can't understand it, because I talked about there's many different things that I do. I also have a business here during the week, but it's always separate from the church, always. And we're not doing no money changer thing here, no. When there's church in session, we are a church, and we don't have business mixing in with it at all. But when church is here, it's a church, and when business is in session, there's no church. However, people can come by and pray for things anytime they want. But the business is always and will remain separate from the church. Even though it's filed under with the business, I actually file the church income under my personal. But the money that's made at the church is filed with the business, but the the money that is collected for the church goes in a separate account, a savings account, a business savings account. That's where the church money goes. And the business money that I generate from my business goes in the business account. Okay? And that's how that works. So everybody understands that, but it's still separate. But the reason why we're all here at the same place is because this is where I work, and this is where I live, and this is where I also preach and teach from in my apartment, because we don't have a lot of people coming. But we do have some people coming. But, you know, that's just how it is, because we're small. So if you understand that, that's great. And I hope you can understand that and not be so judgmental than trying to say we're doing something that we're not doing, because we are not doing that at all. We're not mixing business with church, because you're not supposed to do that, and according to Scripture, and we're not doing that. So come here and check us out. If you're looking for a church or a family and you're new to the area, come here, 7110 New Hunter Road, apartment 423, Mechanicsville, Virginia 23111. You make a donation at 804-789-9373. We do need your donations, so help us to grow. Subscribe down below and tell us what you know. Because we want to know what you think. And remember, keep it clean, because kids are watching and churches are watching. And remember, you shouldn't be talking dirty if you're a Christian anyway. So, with that being said, we also want to pray that we can all stand up and not allow this tyranny to continue with taking away our speech. Back to the news about the speech assault that we were alluding to earlier. We need to really pray and stand behind it and be Christian warriors like Jesus was. He was a radical for things like that, what the government was doing. If you look in the Bible and you read in the Gospels, you can see where Jesus spoke out against the government on every front. And, you know, that's the way Christians should be today, just like he was when it came to things that they were doing that were against the law and against the way God set it up and intended for a government to operate. When a government is doing things that are lawless in the sight of God, you can't follow and obey or trust the government when they're not even following the law themselves. And that's what we're starting to see here in America and all over the world. It's a worldwide thing, because the government has gotten really corrupt. And that is the truth. It's not my opinion. You can see it. You can look. You can see things that are happening now where they're turning their back on churches instead of protecting them here in America. It's not just in these other foreign countries either. It's starting to come here too. And where the IRS is exempting their 503 status, that is not a government thing. It is not lawful what they're doing to these churches. They didn't file something wrong. They've had people in preparers and accountants that file their taxes every year that know what they're doing, and it's not something they did wrong. It's just an excuse so they can hold up that charter, because it's something they probably didn't like what they said or covered, because they sent a mold in there in the church getting the information, and probably that's how they lost it, because they're allowed to do that, because it says so many words that they will send somebody in there to check to see what you're preaching about. And if they don't like something about it, they'll revoke your charter. You actually got to read your 503 charter, because that is part of the terms of having it. That's why we don't have it. Nope, there's some thunder there. Anyway, severe weather will be here tomorrow night and all day Wednesday and Wednesday night. Early morning hours especially, it could be very noisy around here in Mechanicsville. I repeat, it will be very noisy. We could have winds here. We could have tornadoes possibly, especially on Wednesday in this area. We could have cloud-to-ground lightning, lots of cloud-to-ground lightning and heavy thunder on Tuesday night, and also especially on Wednesday. Severe weather alert for late Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning, especially on Wednesday afternoon, because that's when the bulk of the storm will be here. Please stay away from windows during that time, and practice your escape plan if there is a fire in your house, or practice the tornado drills at your schools and public school systems. And make sure you go over the safety drills. Your teachers go over and principals go over and do a safety drill on tomorrow, or if you haven't done it today, practice it a couple times with the younger children. And do it a couple times even with the middle school and high schoolers too, to make sure they understand what to do in the event of a tornado. Because this stuff is real. The building will not save you. So you need to make sure you go over those rules, not just hiding under a table. You need to go to an interior room that will not protect you if you're in an exterior room. You need to move to a hallway where there's no windows, solid walls, or an interior room, where it's away from the outer walls of a structure. That is what they teach you if you do it right. Hiding under a desk is not going to shield you from debris or broken glass or metal objects. So make sure you follow those rules, okay? Remember the 30-second rule. Count 30. If you hear thunder before 30 seconds, you're in danger of being struck by lightning. If you're outdoors, quickly move indoors. Cancel all outdoor plans until about 30 minutes after the storm has passed, and then you may resume activity safely outdoors. Always remember the 30-30 rule. So this is the news for April the 28th, 2014. I'll see you tomorrow with another update, severe weather or not. I love you, and please help support us. Send your donations to the address. If you want to make a credit card donation, dial 804-789-9373. We take all major credit cards. We accept them all, and we'll send you a receipt for your taxes, and you get a tax write-off, and you can actually write that on your taxes and get some, get a little incentive for helping out us here at New Hunter Church of Christ. We are a for-profit entity. We're not non-profit. I was saying that, but I was wrong, because you can't be for-profit and non-profit at the same time. We are for-profit because we follow with our business. So we do need the funds, but you can still send us donations, and it still will apply to your taxes. Just make sure you keep your receipts and give them to your accountant, and you'll get a little incentive for doing that. Plus, you'll be helping us out. So it's a win-win for everybody, for us, for you, and for doing the work of the Lord. So think about that. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Thanks for all those who help us. Really, I mean it. Thank you for that church that's helping us with our rent. I appreciate that. And those who helped us with our electricity. And we still need help all summer long, because remember, this is a time we need the help more than ever. So because summertime's going to be coming here soon, electric's going to be going out the roof, because we're on the top floor, and that air just runs and runs and runs. So, we got to keep it cool in here, because we got servers and computers and things, because we broadcast online. So we got to keep things pretty cool in here in the summer. So if you can help us with that, we would appreciate that. Thanks a lot for all those, like I said once again. And I will see you tomorrow with another update. Remember to subscribe down below. Subscribe. See you tomorrow.